paragraph writing, and then essay writing, report writing, pressy writing, right? And synopsis and proposal. So this is the last but third one. So report writing. So you all know report writing. What does it mean? Because we do read reports every day, every morning. If you have the habit of reading newspapers or the magazines or something like that, and there what exactly happens is the reporters go to the place and then cover the news, and then they report the news. What does it mean? They look at an incident and then they write about it. They write about their observations, right? So for example, krishi mela, for okay, you're in first year, right? Okay, fine, then probably next year it may happen. I don't know, offline. So, or college day. If I ask you to write a report on JKVK college day, then how do you write? You observe things and then you start reporting what exactly happened, right? So that is called as report writing. You report things based on your observation, right? How was it? Who were they? How did it go? When was it? Where was it? Something like that. And also, if you're working, say for example, this one, okay, present example. I'm working as a teacher here, and then once I finish taking online classes for you guys, I'll have to send the report to the higher authorities, like when did I take class, for whom did I take class, when was it, was there any technical issue, which topic was covered, what time it was. So everything I have to write a report on everyday basis. Okay, if I could not take the class, that should also I should report, like the reason for it, why I was not able to take the class, something like that. And why do we have to give reports? Because we are on that work. Example, you are an engineer. Example, okay, and you are working in a construction company, or you are working as a software engineer, or you're working as an agriculturist scientist. For example, you're working on some experiment. Then your guide will ask you to give report on the experiment. So, for example, you're working on drought resistant rice, right? How to grow drought resistant rice. So, you are on the process. Your guide or your supervisor will ask you, what is happening. Give a report on your experiment. You like to write a report. What do you write a report, like? What it should be consisting of. You should say that when the experiment was started, who are all there in the team, right? Are you able to take the results, right? And are you working on the scheduled time, like we'll be having one blueprint, isn't it? Like we started in the month of December, so by February we should be having this result, something like that. One blueprint will be there, isn't it? So whether we are reaching that or not. Okay, if we didn't reach, what are the reasons that we fail to reach that? Okay, those things that based on that, you give a report. So in this, under report writing, we are going to work on these two especially. Okay, how to write report to the magazines, or any newspapers, like how to report things, and also how to give report to the higher authorities, or if you are in the process to your colleagues, something like that. Okay, so let's see what it is exactly. So report. Say, imagine if you are a journalist, right? So how will you cover the news? Like, why do we believe these journalists when we read newspapers? We have not seen what happened in Delhi. We have not observed. We really don't have any idea what happened in Washington. But why do we believe the reports? Because we think that these journalists give an unbiased information. They give the factual information, isn't it? Why do we read newspapers if it is full of lies? Then you got the point. So here We read newspapers or we read articles because we believe that it is true, it is correct. We believe these reporters. But what actually happening in today's journalism? They are forgetting. Most of them are forgetting their ethics. They are so much of they just want TRP. They just want to add some masala into the news and then give a very delicious one to read so that they can have a good business in the society, but that is not actually the true journalism. Well, let me not get into those loopholes of it, but there are few members who really give unbiased information. So what report should exactly have? It should be an unbiased information. Report is nothing but an unbiased information, and it will be in objective form of writing, right? It won't be subjective. Subjective in the sense you can change it. You can change however that you want, like but here a reporter will stick on to his or her information. I'm sorry, observation. Whatever the observation that they will make, they report the same thing. So very objective, right? Just because someone will come and bribe them and then ask them to change the report, saying that other guests had come from Delhi or something like that. They don't change it just because they are bribed, or they stick on to the truth, the factual. That's why. See, the third point: any factual information heard, observed, done, or investigated are under reported are reported under report writing. Okay, so it is a formal document. Whatever that you pen down, guys, whatever that you write, even an apology letter, it's a document, right? You are submitting your what do you say, medical certificates, it's a document, right? Any paperwork, any mail, any message for that matter, it's a document. If you have recorded something or someone has spoken, it's a document, isn't it? So it is a very formal document, presents facts and provides information. So report is a very formal document, presents facts and provides information. So these informations or facts are logically structured in report writing. See, when we write no letter writing, there is the way, there is a style to write it, isn't it? So report writing also the same. So there is a style to write it. Okay, so logically it has to be constructed. So report is written on a specific purpose. Like, see, for example, you went somewhere, probably science exhibition. You observed how the science exhibition was, right? So there, what happens? You have observed the science exhibition, so you have to narrate the incidents. Like, you have observed, the action has already taken place, so it will be in past tense, correct? Reporting, past tense. It will be in past tense. Hopefully you hoping that you remember direct and indirect narration, right? Okay, so now narrating an incident. So you have to narrate an incident, asking for recommendation. For example, farm bill. So farm bill, any bill for that matter, when it is passed in the parliament or in assembly, then any bills for that matter, pros and cons will be there. If there are cons, then you are asking for recommendation. Then you will write a report on it, like why it is negative points, why we can how we can change it, how we can bring or whether we can keep it or we can throw it away. So based on that, you ask for recommendation, you write a report based on the factual information, right? So you have some references quoting that, you can say that it is wrong, these points are wrong, right? It won't serve any purpose, so we are asking for recommendations, that you can do it. And then description of procedures, like you are working on an experiment and you are describing the entire procedure and giving the status of the project, right? So yeah, that is what status of the project. If you're working as an engineer in a construction company, example, you're working, on dam construction, then you'll have to give the report, like, how the construction is going on, whether it is, going smoothly, any difficulties, something like that. An analysis of data. So if someone has to analyze data, right? So then they can write a report on it, right? So you analyze data and you would like to, present something new, or bring some innovation, or bring some, change in the procedures. Then you can do it. Then you will have to write report on it, and then a note on their significance and conclusion drawn from them. So when you analyze data, what happens? You are noting its significance, and also you can draw the conclusion based on it, right? So that is what a report writing. So the report is written on specific purposes. So these are the purposes. Like, you observe two experiments, and then work on the significance of it, and then you draw conclusion. So that is also report writing. Okay. Report writing is never an only individual's work, right? It need not to be only one person's work. It can be even group's work too. Usually the reports are typed on letterhead of the organization and duly signed by the concerned authorities to write. So what happens, see, for example, we have letterheads, right? For example, if you get any notification from dean's agri office, have you observed the letterhead? Will the letters will be so plain? No, in the margin, in the first this one, margin, you can find, uh, right, university's logo, its address, phone number, and email, isn't it? So if me being a, faculty of English here, I can also have my own letterhead. For example, what I'll do, the margin first, the starting of the page, in the margin, the heading, what I gave, the logo, university logo, its address, and then my name, my designation, and email ID, phone number, right? So that is called as letterhead. So if you have letterhead, right, you can just work on it, right? Or letter, usually the reports are typed on letterhead and of the organization, and it will be duly signed by the concerned authorities, right, who write it. But sometimes, not every time, we have letterhead, isn't it? What we do, we'll have to write on the plain paper, and when you're writing on the plain paper, so there are some ways of writing it. So purpose of writing, did I skip any? Okay, so let's work on, just see the purpose of writing now. So to record an issue, occasion, or any event, to evaluate, investigate a project, to check the progress of the project, to ask for recommendations or to take actions, to make even proposals. So based on these, we write a report. I'm sorry, for these purposes, we write report. Okay. So report, there is a format, as I told, there is a style, there is a structure to write report. So report should be readable. Usage of bombastic words has to be avoided, because you need not to show off your vocabulary there, because when you're writing something, why do we write, guys? Tell me, why do we write? We write because it should be readable. So that has to be read by somebody else, right? So that should be in a very plain language, so that it will be, kind of help, it is a kind of help, it's kind of helping the readers to understand, digest easily. If you're bringing, too much of bombastic words, probably you may fail in reaching one particular group of readers. Why do we write? It has to be read and understood by even a layman. That's the reason we should avoid using bombastic words. But if you're targeting one particular group, then you can do it, right? if you're targeting English literature, then you can use all the bombastic words. That is where we gauge the knowledge of literature students. But when you're writing a report, make sure you're not using bombastic words, and the language should be plain and simple. Okay. So now the appropriate style also should be used. So now let's see, for what are the things that we have to take care of? Formal language, no bombastic words. The report should be unbiased. It should stick on to the factual information, and it should be impersonal, right? You're not right. You're not reporting for the sake of somebody else. You're reporting for the sake of news, right? For the sake of producing the factual reports. And then you should use. It should be in passive voice because the action has already taken place. And then structure one should take care of. Then it should stick on to its objectivity. Whatever the observation has made, that has to be reported. And then it should be concise, okay, and clear, correct, very professional, very relevant to the topic, and also it should give the complete information. There are two types of report. First one is reporting an event, project status, or completed report. So you are reporting or the project status or the completed report. Okay. So let's see. One should think about these two below questions before writing a report. What are those? What is the purpose of writing the report? Which type of report? What information a report has to convey? So now, let's see. Reporting an event. How do we have to report an event? Well, one second. Okay. What is, see, whenever that we take a pen and have a paper and think to write something, the first question that comes in our mind, that what is the purpose of writing? Why are we writing? If you are writing an apology letter, will you keep that for yourself? No. Or you are writing a leave letter, will you keep it for yourself? No. You're going to give it to somebody else. Some other person is going to read, isn't it? So the same way, when you're writing a report, why do you write? What is the purpose of it? You're writing it so that you are giving it to somebody, so they should read, right? Then the other question is purpose, right? You are writing a report. So, for example, you are giving a leave letter. What is the purpose of writing a leave letter or giving it to your professor? To get your attendance or to get permission, isn't it? That is the purpose. So, if you are trying to ask for permission, how convincingly you have to write, right? And which type of report? So what type of report that one has to produce? That is the second question. And then what information actually this report should convey? So these are the points that one should think for writing something. So if you question these basic things, I think it will be very easy for anybody else to work on it. And then reporting an event. Reporting an event as article in daily magazines and journals has a structure of writing. So first thing, when you open a newspaper, right, you'll be having based on the topic, the heading, the title, you choose the article to read. Will you read the entire newspaper from first to the last? No. So what happens? You'll have to search, like you do skimming and scanning while looking at the newspaper. Interested the title one, whichever the title which is so catchy, you stick onto it and then you read it. So title of the report is very important. And then what you observe, you can observe the reporter's name. Then you can find the left side of the page, that is the left side of the article. You can see date, month, and place. For example, today is June 10th, right? June 10th, I'm sorry, 10th June, Bangalore, and then you have got colon, right? If you have not observed, please do observe today. Take the newspaper anyhow in your house. You have the newspapers. Just take it out and then observe. Okay, that will be in left side of the page, and then beginning of the sentence, what it tells about what, where, and when. So it will give just the plot line of the not even plot line, like just the basic information, like what, where, when, what exactly happened, where exactly happened, what, when it has happened, because it's an incident. Or okay. So second paragraph, it explains how gives detailed explanation. Second and third paragraph. Then the fourth paragraph give conclusion, and then fifth paragraph will be about writers or reporters observation. Based on that, what his opinion about it, and then gives concluding points, and then finish the part of report writing. Now let's see. Ravi Kumar is the reporter working for a daily magazine covering the news on Indian Science Congress held in Bengaluru, right? So let's see. This one, I think you won't be knowing, but I also guess if you have, uh, since you're all science students and you were, I think you got to know in the year 2019, um, not 19, sorry, 2020, where our Honorable Prime Minister had come to GKVK, right? Because we had, Indian Science Congress was held at GKVK campus. Okay, so based on I took the original report here. So from DHNS, right? DH News. Guys, can you hear me? Can anyone? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Because I got some notification, so got confused. Okay. So now let me read out this. So the title here says PM urges youth to innovate, patent, produce, and prosper. This is the title of the report. And who is the reporter here? Ravi Kumar. Well, look at this. The first one, DHNS, that means which newspaper where this article was published, right? Deccan Herald News, Bengaluru, that is the place, and then the date, Jan 3, 2020. And you have got a colon. Now, the first thing, what we got the information, what, when, where. Let's see that. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday asked the scientific community to contribute to make India a $5 trillion economy, besides helping the masses with innovative solutions to their daily challenges. So here we got to know who said what, where. Who, where, what, right? Who was it? Narendra Modi. Where? in Bengaluru. When? On Jan 3rd, 2020. To whom he addressed? Right? So all W questions that you get answers in the first paragraph. Then the second paragraph, you can see exactly what. Innovate, patent, produce, and prosper should be motto of young scientists. Innovation has to be for the people and by the people. This would lead to faster development. See, it is in colon, right? It's in quotes. It's in quotes because it is said by some person. Modi said, inaugurating the 107th session of the Indian Science Congress at the University of Agriculture Sciences here in the sense, Bengaluru. Technology and logical temperament are what the new India needed so that we can give a new direction to our social and economic sector. He added, Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa and Indian Science Congress General President K.R. Rangana. Sorry. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa and Indian Science Congress General President K.S. Rangappa, former Vice Chancellor of Mysore University, were present on the dais. Two Nobel laureates, Stephen Hell and Ada E. Leonard, were in attendance. Incidentally, the inauguration was abruptly ended after the Prime Minister's speech without a customary vote of thanks. See, here I repeat, see here in the last paragraph you can observe who and all were there on dais. And then there were two important, very, very important people were also there, that is Nobel laureates, right? And then the last line, you can observe the reporter's observation. Incidentally, and he is giving his opinion. Incidentally, the inauguration was abruptly ended after the Prime Minister's speech without the customary vote of thanks. What happened exactly on that day? Because it happened in front of our eyes, wherein Modi was already late and also he was in hurry. Okay, and then the moment that he finished his speech, he was in so hurry he didn't even wait for the vote of thanks. Vote of thanks was actually was about to happen by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, right? In his absence, he gave a vote of thanks, but actually in his presence, one should give vote of thanks, isn't it? So what happened? So it was so much, a lot of confusion on stage, and incidentally, the inauguration was abruptly ended after the Prime Minister's speech without the customary vote of thanks. So this is what happened. So this is how the articles will be. So you can even check for articles in newspapers, read small articles so that you can understand like how to give title, and a reporter's name should be there, and that is how that you start the report. Okay, when you're reporting to the magazine or news article. Okay, and then project status report. So this is another style of writing a report. Zia, you better take attendance because 10:30 we have to wind up the session, isn't it? We have got 6 more minutes to go. Okay, so let me see in 6 minutes how far that I can finish this slides. So project status report. So the thing is, as I told, so what we have to write is generally these project reports, status reports will be submitted to the higher authorities or to anybody who is seeking the information on it. Okay, so how much the project is completed over a period of time, how much you have to complete, what will be the due date of completion. This will show the progress of the project. So basically, what we do is what exactly is happening with the project that we are going to give the status. So objectives of the project status report, how much, first thing, whether work is in progress, how much work is completed, what work is remaining. If it is delayed, like suppose we will all be having one blueprint to finish thing. If we delay in finishing it, then you will have to tell what is the reason for it, and also should give the tentative timetable time of completion of the project. Date, tentative date, when we can finish the project. The format of the project status report to address, right? To address should be there. There is a format to write a project status report. What is that? To address should be there, like to whom you are submitting the project status report. Title should be there, reference number should be there or terms of reference. Okay, and then work started date, when did you start the work, partial work completed date, like you'll have to tell. And then problems faced in the process, any problem, and if you delay because of the problem, please mention the reasons for it. And then work is in progress, right? So always mention that work is in progress, and please stay very positive while reporting the uh, status, and also give the tentative date of completion. Then from address, reporter name, position, date, and signature. So here, project status report on construction of highway project. The first thing is to address to the chief engineer, NH 180 National Highway Project, number 130 Nice Road, Bangalore 56, Government of India. Title of the project, project status report on construction of highway, that is NH 180 National Highway Project. Reference number, status report on construction of highway bar NH. See, it is a reply letter. So you'll have to write the reference number, whatever the we get from the other end. Okay, so you'll have to copy paste the same thing. Right here, look at the reference project status report on construction of highway, and then bar NH 180 bar NH project, that is National Highway Project. See the title, whatever that is there, same thing that we are writing, and the number 140, which date that you are we got the letter from them, so you are just quoting it, 14 April 2019 to 2020. Then our terms of reference here, dated 14th April 2019, Ashok International Constructions taken the tender of, right, this construction of the project, right? So here you can write dated 14th April 2019, Ashok International Constructions took the tender, entered into the contract of construction of NH 180 National Highway project from Bengaluru to Mumbai. The width is 260 feet and in length 2,500 kilometers. The construction was started from 20th August 2019 and be completed by November 2021. It was agreed that to present the status report every 3 months once. Work completed. So work completed till date are survey and planning completed on 30th October 2019. Widening the road right side by demolishing pre-constructed building in cities and towns completed on 3rd January 2020. Widening the road left side by demolishing pre-constructed building in cities and towns completed on 8th January 2020. So it took 5 days, right? And 250 kilometers of earthwork is completed. So what are the problems faced? Though there was a court order to demolish the buildings to widen the road, public did not cooperate and protested against the construction. Heavy rainfall also hindered the progress of the growth. Work in progress. Presently, 300 kilometers stretch road and the dividers started on 3rd March 2020 as per the schedule. Work to be completed, wiring, fencing and lights. Earthwork, grounding for 300 kilometers. Company assuring that these two works will be completed by the end of May 2020, provided no other problems would be faced. And then here the name of the reporter, Ashok, position, general manager, and date. Then this is fine, right? So this is just an example to how to write report, project status report. Okay. For example, you're constructing a dam, then maybe because of high rainfall, and then there was no availability of raw materials, you cannot take part in the you cannot continue construction, right? So based on that we write the report. So that is what about report writing. If you have got any doubts, you can ask me. So in exam they may ask you what is report writing, and they may till date they have not asked any body to write a report, but they may ask. So please be prepared. Just imagination. So that's the only thing. Like why I don't give you notes, because one should be thorough of writing. Because if you train yourself in writing, that would be better. Okay. So any doubts, you can just let me know, or else we can wind up this session.